These days, for certain brands, it's actually quite possible for a person who owns a perfectly good turntable to start replacing bits of it until only the nameplate remains. Such has been the case with my own dear Rega Planar 3, which began life in 1990 as a stock, respectable, thoroughly decent turntable, and has over the past 3 years undergone numerous modifications/upgrades. The blame lies squarely with the good people at TNG Spinner, formerly Tango Spinner, before they unfairly tangoed into a trademark dispute. Their assortment of upgrades: adjustable aluminum feet, a double belt pulley, a new bearing and subplatter, a Delrin platter, and an underslung counterweight have elevated my old Planar 3 to a level of performance that puts it rather more in the realm of a Rega P6 than its humble origins would suggest. But progress, as they say, waits for no one. And when you've already meddled with every component but the plinth, the motor, the lid, and the tonearm, the question naturally arises, what's next? A new coat of paint? Should I rename it? No, one must think bigger. One must think a new tonearm. I've been positively chuffed with the Rega RB300 tonearm on my Planar 3. It's been a stalwart since its debut in 1983 when it was a marvel of engineering. A single cast alloy piece. It's strong, it's rigid, and unwavering in its duties. But fate, as it often does in these matters, intervened in the form of Origin Live, a venerable outfit from Southampton, England, whose founder, Mark Baker, began modding/improving the Rega RB250 tonearm in the early 1990s, and soon found himself producing tonearms of such quality that even the most resolute of enthusiasts were forced to raise their eyebrows and murmur, "Oh my, this Baker fellow knows what he's doing." They inquired whether I might like to try out their silver Mark V tonearm, and given my long-standing affection for British hi-fi, I naturally responded with the only reasonable answer, "Yes, absolutely. When can I expect it to arrive?" Now, Origin Live make a range of 9 different tonearms, starting with the Onyx at 530 pounds up to the Renown at over 28,000 pounds. For those unfamiliar with the intricacies of vinyl playback, the tonearm is one of those components that it does a great deal more than it's given credit for. It must support the cartridge, guide the stylus through the groove with unerring precision, maintain proper tracking force, perform anti-skating duties, reduce resonance, and most importantly, a well-designed tonearm should be able to perform all those duties competently and be designed to make ownership simple and a pleasure to use from setup to playing your favorite records. And Origin Live appears to have grasped this principle admirably. The Silver Mach V is a rather handsome piece made from high-grade aircraft metal alloy with a chrome-finished high-strength rear stub. Moreover, it has a high-precision bearing and internal wiring that is cryogenically treated copper lits, and the RCA cables have the look and feel of high quality and robust construction. Whereas Rega employs springs and magnets to handle vertical tracking force and anti-skating, Origin Live has opted for using the universal force of gravity to handle those tasks. No springs or magnets here. VTF adjustments are done by just moving the counterweight at the back end of the arm, and anti-skating is set through employing the falling weight on a filament mechanism. Sorry for this interruption, but according to my YouTube stats, currently 90% of individuals who watch my videos are not subscribers. So I take from that YouTube is not showing subscribers my new episodes. So I suggest that if you enjoy my kind of content, please subscribe and enable notifications. So when I put up a new one, you'll know about it. Thanks. The standard arm is designed to fit Rega decks without modifications to the plinth, which was a relief as I had no great desire to start attacking it with a drill or router. And it comes as a single piece with the RCA cables attached. I did not shoot a video of the installation process of the silver arm on my Planar 3, but I do have a few photographs during the process. And removing the old Rega arm and installing the silver arm is a snap. It just involves loosening and unscrewing a large nut from the threaded base of the arm that goes through the hole in the plinth. And then you just do the process in reverse to install the silver arm. Adjusting the VTA is done by turning the ring at the base of the arm and the threaded nut underneath the plinth. The intricacies of the installation and setup are covered in the owner's manual that is included. The only thing for me that required some extra time was setting the height of the Tonearm with sufficient clearance above the platter. I no longer use the original phenolic plastic Rega subplatter, which is kind of thin, and the bearing, as I replaced them with the aftermarket TNG Spinner units. So when I put the Rega glass platter and felt mat on the subplatter, there was not enough clearance for the stylus above the final record, even at the arm's highest position. Origin Live advised me and helped me to resolve this with the use of their threaded VTA adjuster ring to add extra vertical height to the silver arm. It was easy to install, and now all is well. After that was done, I got out the amazing Wally Skater and Wally Tractor to properly mount and align the Audio-Technica VM740ML cartridge and set the anti-skating. To try to make the comparison as legit as possible, I used another Audio-Technica cartridge that's similar to the one on the old Rega arm and is of a similar age. The system I've been using is pretty much all British, with an original name Nate integrated amp and a pair of ProAct Response 2.5 floor standing speakers. And I've been using the Nate's excellent built-in phono preamp most of the time, but lately I've been swapping in an iFi Zen Phono 3 that's in-house for a future video. This is actually a really good sounding near-field system. Now let's get down to brass tacks. Does the silver Mark V justify its existence? Now, I'm delighted to report that within a mere minutes of spinning my first record, the answer became clear. Yes, indeed it does. And the difference was not very subtle. Whereas the Rega RB300 had always been a fine performer, the silver Mark V possessed an extra layer of refinement. To my ears, it extracted detail from the grooves with a deftness that bordered on the uncanny. High frequencies were more crisply defined, spatial cues were more precise, and everything sounded more focused. I was listening to Flaunt the Imperfection by China Crisis that's filled with a mix of lively acoustic and electronic instruments, and I was struck by how much more texture and nuance emerged. Instruments occupied a more tangible space in the soundstage, and the transient attacks had almost a tactile quality. As a demonstration of how much I'm enjoying the performance of the silver Mark V, I've decided to keep it, and Origin Live will need to send me a bill. The silver Mark V is without a doubt a significant investment at this level, particularly when its price of £870 is £30 above that of a whole new Rega P3 turntable, complete with the latest RB330 arm. I made a video a couple of years ago about the latest P3, and it's a great choice when you want to move up from an entry-level model, when you decide that this vinyl buying thing is going to stick around for a while. However, for those who've already upgraded their P3s in a similar manner as me, or own a P6 and fancy an upgrade, the silver Mark V represents an utterly compelling proposition. It's easy to install, straightforward to set up, and offers a level of performance that surprises and delights me to no end. If you, like me, have a fondness for elevating a modestly priced turntable into something extraordinary, I can think of no finer way to do so than by adding the Origin Live Silver Mark V to your system. And because of this, I'm going to inquire with Origin Live about an upgrade for my Lin LP12 that has the stock ITOC LV2 Tonearm. If this video piques your interest in an Origin Live Tonearm or any of their highly regarded turntables or related parts and accessories, you can find them at originlive.com, where you can order them direct. You can also find an Origin Live dealer in your country through their website. So if you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe, and until next time, thanks for watching, and like a good Tonearm, be supportive and true, and stay in your groove. And remember to always trust my own devices.